Welcome back to the Affirm Opulence podcast, everybody. We're on episode 5, and this time we're going to be looking at something that I think a lot of people wonder about, when they're trying to embrace abundance and all that. Does a higher power actually want us to be struggling financially?
Yeah, that's a really common question, and it can definitely hold some people back.
For sure.
But luckily, Wallace Wattles addresses this directly in Chapter 5 of The Science of Getting Rich.
So let's dive into that. What does he have to say?
Well, he starts by introducing this idea of intelligent substance, which is like the fundamental creative force of the universe.
Okay.
And the important thing to remember is that it's not static. It's always trying to increase life in every way.
So instead of everything being scarce, it's more about constantly expanding.
Exactly. You can think of it like a seed that has the potential to grow into a huge tree.
Okay.
That seed's whole purpose is to grow and multiply and get bigger. And Wattles is saying that that's the natural drive of all life, and it applies to our desire for riches too.
That's a really good analogy. So our desires for growth, whether it's financial abundance or a good career, or even just learning more, are all expressions of this universal push for more life.
Exactly. And Wattles says that this doesn't mean that we need to live a life of just pure pleasure or, on the other hand, be denying ourselves all the time.
Right.
It's more about living fully in every part of our lives.
Right.
Physical, mental, and spiritual.
So it's like finding a balance between enjoying the good things and not getting lost in just material stuff.
You got it. It's about aligning what we want with this universal desire for more life. And not just for ourselves, but for everybody.
Yeah, I really like that idea of increased life for all. But how does that work when we think about competition? Like the idea that there's only so much to go around and we have to fight for our share.
Well, this is where Wattles really challenges that whole idea of competition. He says that creation, not competition, is the real way to get to abundance.
So instead of everyone trying to get a bigger piece of a small pie, we should all be focused on making the pie bigger.
Exactly. And that leads us to another really important idea from this chapter, formless substance. Waddle says this is the raw material that everything is made from. And this is where things get really interesting when we start talking about affirmations.
Yeah, that's actually what I was just thinking about. If this formless substance is limitless, how do we actually use it with our affirmations?
That's the big question, right? Waddle says that our thoughts can shape this formless substance. So when we make affirmations, we have to do it in a way that shows this abundance and creation.
So we're not just saying what we want, we're actually molding this universal material into what we want our reality to be.
That's a perfect way to put it. So how do we do that? Well, there are a few things to remember. First, you have to really accept that formless substance is unlimited. Don't limit yourself by thinking that things are scarce.
That makes sense. If we start from a place of scarcity, that will probably show up in our affirmations too.
Right. And second, instead of thinking about what you don't have, visualize what you want as if it's already real. See yourself already having the money or the health or the relationships that you want.
It's like that saying, act as if. So we're not just wishing for things, but we're acting like we already have them.
Exactly. And last but not least, say your affirmations with confidence and certainty. Don't hesitate or doubt yourself. Say them like you're stating a fact.
So it's all about making our thoughts, our words, and our beliefs match up with this idea of abundance. We're not begging the universe for things, we're actually co-creating with it.
You got it. And the best part is once you understand these ideas, you can use them to make affirmations for any goal you have.
Okay, this is all starting to click for me now.
Yeah.
But can you give us some examples? How can our listeners use these principles to make actual affirmations?
Of course. Let's say you want more money. Instead of saying, I want to be rich, which kind of sounds like you don't have it yet.
Right.
You could say something like, I am a magnet for wealth and abundance flows into my life easily.
Wow, that's powerful. It changes the focus from wanting something to actually having it.
Exactly. Or if you want to improve your health, instead of saying, I want to lose weight, which focuses on the negative,
Yeah.
you could say, my body is strong, healthy, and vibrant, and I take care of it with love.
Just hearing those examples is already changing my mindset. It's like we're taking those limiting beliefs and replacing them with these powerful truths that match up with what Wattles is talking about.
That's it. Remember, formless substance reacts to our thoughts. So when we focus on positive, abundant affirmations, we're shaping our reality.
This is really empowering. It's like Wattles is giving us the tools to create the life we want. But it all starts with realizing the connection between our thoughts, the universe, and this creative power we all have.
And don't forget that it's important to make sure our desires align with what's good for everyone else too. Remember what Wattles said about increasing life for all. It's not about getting rich at the expense of other people. It's about creating a world where everyone can thrive.
Right, so it's about making sure that our own abundance helps everyone else too.
Exactly. When we think about creating wealth in that way, we're tapping into a much bigger power. It's not just about us, it's about doing good for everyone.
This episode is giving me a whole new way to think about abundance. We've gone from talking about whether a higher power wants us to be poor to understanding the power of our thoughts to actually making affirmations that use the unlimited potential of the universe.
And it all goes back to Wattles' main message. We're not meant to live in a world of scarcity. We're meant to live in abundance in every part of our lives.
I'm so excited for our listeners to try out these principles and affirmations. I have a feeling we're going to hear about some amazing changes. But before we go, I want to leave everyone with a question to think about based on what we talked about today. If the universe really wants more life for everyone, like Waddle says, how can your own goals help other people? Think about that as you create your affirmations and start this new chapter of abundance.
Yeah, that's a really powerful question. It makes us think about how our own success can actually help others, too.
Yeah, it's like when the tide rises, it lifts all the boats.
Exactly. So when you're writing your affirmations, think about how your goals and your dreams can make the world a better place for everyone. Maybe it's by starting a business or donating to charity or even just inspiring other people to follow their dreams.
Right? It doesn't have to be like a competition where if one person wins, someone else loses.
Definitely not. In fact, I think that when our goals are about helping other people, our manifestations actually become even stronger.
So it's like we're using this universal energy that supports both us and the greater good. It's a win-win.
Exactly. As you keep learning from the science of getting rich and writing your affirmations for abundance, just remember to keep the bigger picture in mind.
We're not just trying to get rich ourselves, we're trying to create a world where everyone can live a really fulfilling life.
Beautifully said.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the ideas behind affirmations, but I'd love to get more specific. Let's say someone is sitting down to write their affirmations. What are some tips to make them really strong and effective?
That's a great question. I think one of the most important things is to make your affirmations personal and specific. Don't just use generic phrases that you find online. Really think about what you want to manifest and create affirmations that really speak to you.
So it's not just about using the right words, but also about putting your own energy and intention into them.
Exactly. It's like the difference between reading a script and giving a speech from the heart.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What else can help make those affirmations really hit home?
Another important tip is to write your affirmations in the present tense, as if what you want is already happening.
Oh, so instead of saying, I will be financially abundant, you would say, I am financially abundant.
Exactly. Doing this helps to reprogram your subconscious mind and change your beliefs to match the reality that you want to create.
So it's like you're aligning your thoughts with the outcome you want, even before you see it in the real world.
That's right. And finally, don't underestimate the power of repetition. Write your affirmations every day, ideally in the morning and evening. You can even say them out loud with confidence and feel the energy of those words throughout your body.
It's like we're planting seeds of intention in our subconscious minds.
Exactly. And if we water and nurture those seeds consistently, they'll eventually grow into the reality that we've imagined.
This has been so helpful. I'm really starting to see how powerful affirmations can be for getting what we want when we create them with intention.
They absolutely can. But remember, it's not magic. It's about aligning our thoughts, our words, and our actions with the ideas of abundance that Wattles talks about in The Science of Getting Rich.
It's about taking control and becoming the creators of our own lives. Well, we've covered a lot today, from talking about whether a higher power wants us to struggle to learning out the power of affirmations. Before we wrap up, what are your final thoughts for our listeners as they start their own journeys to create opulence?
My advice is to approach this journey with joy and excitement. Embrace the abundance that you already have in your life and watch it grow. And remember, you're not alone on this path. There's a universal force that's supporting you every step of the way.
That's a really nice thought. Thank you so much for being here today to talk about Chapter 5 of The Science of Getting Rich. We hope you've gotten some good ideas and tools to help you create the amazing life you deserve.
It's been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, keep affirming your opulence and keep shining brightly. We'll see you next time for another episode.
Yeah, I love that. It's not about forcing things or struggling. It's about working with this natural flow of abundance.
Right. It's about letting go of those beliefs that are holding us back and opening ourselves up to all the amazing things that are possible. Well, this has been a really empowering and inspiring conversation. I'm already feeling motivated to look at my own affirmations and make sure they're really in line with this creative force we've been talking about.
That's great to hear. And remember, this journey to abundance is something we're always working on. Keep practicing these ideas. Keep making your affirmations better, and never stop believing that you can create the life you want.
And for anyone who hasn't read The Science of Getting Rich yet, I highly recommend it. It can really change how you think about wealth and abundance.
I totally agree. It's a classic for a reason.
So on that note, we've reached the end of another deep dive. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Affirm Opulence podcast. We'll be back next week with another chapter from The Science of Getting Rich and more strategies to help you unlock your full potential. Until then, keep affirming your opulence and keep shining your light bright.
See you next time.